Hello friends, good evening and welcome to another session of Tech Tablet Daily Dose with Varun Rao. In today's session, we would be looking at some interview questions related to SAP Quality Management, SAP QM, and this is the first part of SAP Quality Management. Alright, so we would also be looking at some general business expectations and very frequently asked questions from SAP Quality Management and what this is related about, right? So the most important tangent or the most important part is how are we answering an interview, because that is what an interviewer looks at, and that is what is something that speaks about you. Because when you're going to an interview to answer, when you're going to an interview to talk to the interviewer technically, or be it an HR discussion or be it a managerial discussion, whatever be the round, it is very important that you carry yourself the right way and that you present your answers and thoughts the right way. Does not matter even if your answer is wrong, because no one can have 100% knowledge, but still if there is something that you know and if you're talking about it, then the confidence should reflect in your voice or in your action or in your body language, right? So now, keeping this in mind, let us just look at some questions and then we will look at what are the general business expectations from any SAP quality management consultant, right? So the first question is, what is the use of SAP quality management system, right? SAP quality management is basically a part of SAP R3 system, which is version 3, right? And it is integrated with other SAP modules like SAP MM, which is material management, PP, which is production planning, PM, which is plant maintenance, right? So QM, which is quality management, is an integral part of all the logistic management and is used to perform quality functions for incoming materials that are coming into the industry or for manufacturing process. Could be raw materials or whatever is there in the facility, right? So when you talk of an SAP QM consultant, it is expected that he has an overall idea of what the logistic management is, what MM is, what PP is, and what is the general maintenance cycle, and how would he or she ensure that this cycle is maintained. So this is one thing which is well expected from any quality management consultant. So, what are the various functions in SAP quality management? They are quality planning, quality notifications, quality inspection, quality planning, which allows to plan the inspection of goods from vendor, the raw materials, what is the work in process, what is the stage of work, and what is the end product. Apart from this, it also has quality notifications, which include the defect identification. Now this is a very important part, and there are also steps to be taken by the quality department, right? So defect identification is one important thing that is required for any organization, that too which is in manufacturing, to flourish, right? So these are the various functions in SAP quality management. The third question is, how do you transfer the results from one origin to another? This can be done by creating a program attached to the follow-up functions for the UD code. And once the UD code is done, the results can be transferred from one lot to another lot, right? What is quality notification? This is a process which includes recording a problem which is either identified by a customer for a product which is manufactured in an organization, or it could also be identified in a company against the product of a supplier or a vendor, right? So basically, quality notification is any defect that is identified either by a customer or by a company against any product of a supplier, and this can be raised internally to you know raise an issue that has arisen on production line. Now we see defects happening generally when the production is complete or when there is a problem in the production line. So quality notification arises internally when there is a problem that is noticed on the production line, and a quality notification can be assigned to an existing order also, or you can also create a new order as per the notification. The fifth question is, what comes under quality control process? Now this is actually a very vast process because this has n number of checks, but here I am just trying to explain what quality control process is all about in the shortest lines possible. Under quality control, you have quality notifications, you have standard reports, and quality notification system. And then you also have what are the actions that are to be taken as per the findings of the defect. Now if you have found a defect in production line or in the end product, then there are some actions to be taken. Now these actions are also a process of quality control process. Okay. Sixth question is what comes under quality assurance process. Now these are two different questions. The first is quality control process and this is quality assurance process. Under quality assurance, the main part or the main work of any consultant is quality inspection. Quality inspection involves right from the quality department, in an if there are 1,000 items, then you have to check an item as per the defined points in inspection plan. Now generally when any organization releases an inspection plan, it has certain checkpoints that are to be ensured before the product is finally delivered. So any consultant has to perform the inspection based on one or more inspection lots, where a lot is a request to inspect a specific item. So you would be inspecting this item as per the terms mentioned in the inspection plan. Now in any SAP system you can create an inspection lot either manually or by using an automatically generated form, or an automatically generated lot in the SAP system. So this is what quality assurance process is all about. What are different standard reports in SAP quality management system? Now you can create reports in quality management system to check how many times a product has been identified with defect or an improvement that your company has to implement, right? So this is a report to check basically. So here what you're doing, all that you're doing is you're checking for any defects or improvements that your company has to implement. Now there are different varieties of reports that are to be generated in quality management. The first is material defects report, the second is vendor defect report, and the third is customer defect report. Talking of material defect report, this is basically used to check the number of times an item has been identified with a defect status. It could be 1 or it could be n. The second is vendor defect report. Now this report is used to show the number of defected material supplied by a vendor. Now if he's supplying 1,000 items, then you would be seeing how many items are defected in this supply lot. And this can be checked by examining the inspection lot of goods receipt, right? You generally have a goods receipt, and pertaining to this goods receipt you have an inspection lot, so you would be examining this. And a quality department can highlight vendors whose materials are failing in inspection. So now if there are three vendors A, B, C, and if C has the worst, then you can highlight this person or this vendor saying that his materials are not matching up to the standards. And then you have customer defect report. Now this is used to show the defects that were found on inspections for outbound deliveries. Now if there is a delivery that is to be done by me to the company's ABC, then it is a report that the customer would generate and he would give it to us. Now this would help us in improving the quality of goods that we've delivered, because now we actually know what are the defects that are found in inspection by the other person or by the other organization. So these are the different standard reports that an SAP quality system management has. What activities of controlling is integrated with quality management process? So you can integrate SAP QM with controlling process to manage the cost for defect control and also non-conformative cost as well. So here you're looking at both of them. One is to manage the controls for defect, is to manage the cost for defect control, and the other is non-conformative cost in any production process. So this is multidimensional. The ninth question is, what do you understand by sampling procedure? Sampling procedure is nothing but it is a process in QM which is used to determine the size of inspection lot to be used in inspection plan under quality planning. Now you are basically defining the size of an inspection lot here. It is as simple as that. And here you can define a sampling procedure as a fixed sample percentage or as other samples. So it is not, now this, how you want to define the sampling procedure is not fixed. You can either go by a fixed sample, you can go by percentage, or you can use other varieties of sampling, right? So what is sampling procedure? It is nothing but it is a process to determine the size of inspection lot that is to be used in inspection plan under quality planning. The last question is, how do you set inspection point in any inspection lot? Now, be it whatever the lot is, how do you set an inspection point to it? Now, if you want to set an inspection point in any sampling procedure, then you first need to set an indicator for the corresponding application area. Now, if there is a product that is being manufactured by a company, then you need to identify that what are the indicators for me to check that this product is now worth for delivery, right? So these are the indicators. So here you would basically have to set indicators for the corresponding application area, and these indicators specify, or these indicators are the one which show us how many inspection points are to be created for every inspection lot, right? So these are the first set of questions for SAP QM. So now I hope you have understood what SAP QM is all about. Now these are just a refresher or beginner kind of questions that I have posted. Do stay tuned to this channel, as I would also be posting other videos on SAP quality management. Now I would also want you to remember that these are some questions that I have gathered, some from internet and some from real-time consultants. So I would request you, or I would persuade you to have a look at these before going to an interview, because generally it is the tendency of many people to get confused or fumbled or nervous before you attend an interview. So the more you practice, the more you study, and the more you talk to yourself before attending an interview, the better are your chances of cracking it. So I hope you have enjoyed the session and have learned something from this. Do stay subscribed to this channel, Tech Tablet Daily Dose, for many more videos yet to be covered and a lot of knowledge yet to be exchanged between us. Thank you. You have a great day.